Guys, how's it going? Today is Thursday, April 3rd. We're on day 16 of my 8-month venture into dropping 54 pounds by my 54th birthday on the November 19th. Today's a big day. Today's the day that we're actually going to go into isolation for shoulder and legs today. The other day we did chest and back together, which was a good day. Shoulder was working great. Today is a big day because it's going to be purely shoulder and leg workout. So I'm doing my warm-up that I do due to my right shoulder injury, and I'm really happy with the way it's been coming along. Now, one thing I'm really proud about is that about maybe 2 months ago, I started doing this band, and I could only do the very extremely light one, which was like a green band, and it's really paper thin. And that I could raise it from there to light. Then I was able to go from light to medium, and now I went from medium to strong. So I'm really happy with how my shoulder's been responding to this exercise. And like I'd mentioned before, guys, that this is such a great exercise. Such a great exercise. There are a lot of different shoulder rehabs that are out there. And obviously there are a lot of different injuries that can happen in the shoulder that require different attention. You got to get that down closer to the base. But this one exercise here, it does such a great job with activating all the muscles in the shoulder to help stabilize it and to help that time under tension heal the injury. And it's such a great exercise that if you're suffering from any kind of shoulder injury, I would actually say try this exercise first before trying other ones. And then you can actually do it in a combination with maybe, on your stomach, shoulder light extensions with no weight, and then getting that range of motion as well as with some light weight. There's other things as well too. You could do external pulling rotations with bands from the wall, which is great too, with being able to target certain areas of an injury. Or even as you get older, like us in the 50s, I would even say people in their 40s. Guys, this exercise I think is something that you should be doing even if you don't have a shoulder injury. It's just a great exercise to get your shoulders really woken up and engaged and to be preventive of injuries in the future. So, coming along, going into my 3rd week on this, my body's starting to feel better. My strength is going up. I'm able to move a little quicker on my workouts. I have more energy. My cardio yesterday was really good. I didn't film it because I had to do cardio when the gym was full, and I don't want to put all the clients into an uncomfortable position by being recorded, so I just don't bring it out. Most of the clients don't mind, but at the same time, I just don't want to do it. Some of them are actors. A lot of them are business people and stuff too. So it's just, some of them, they want their privacy. That's feeling good. So we got shoulders, we got legs today, glutes, and we're gonna put together a good workout. We're gonna throw it all together. I am gonna do measurements this weekend, so it's a little bit past the 2 weeks, but lately with everything, we've been having to crush for time and all that. So I'm gonna do it this weekend and we'll see how my measurements are. Okay, so right now we're gonna go and we're gonna hit the workout, and we're gonna start it off with one of my favorite ways to start off on leg exercise. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some seated military presses. Now, when I first started, you saw that I had a hard time with the barbell and just 10 pounds on each side. And the barbell was a light barbell. It was like a practice Olympic barbell for beginners. So it was only 15 pounds. And so total, that was only 35 pounds. And you saw how stressful that was for a couple of reasons, right? My injury has a limited range of motion that it was comfortable with. And barbells are very, very strict, right? So it forces your hands to stay fixed in a position while you're moving it in its range of motion. So I couldn't make any accommodations to adjust for any of the tight spots of my shoulder injury. And I just wanted to test it out. That's why we didn't go heavy, and you saw how challenging it was. But I was happy I was able to get that range of motion, get it moving. I'm going to be using dumbbells. We're going to start off, I'm going to do seated, which is a lot easier for my injury because I'm able to sit back and get it a little bit more forward pressing, which is still going to hit those shoulders, the deltoids really well, but at the same time, not so straight up where it's really impinging on my range of motion from the injury that I have. And then I'm gonna jump back over there and do some hamstring curls. And I'll give you two different angles from that, just so you can kind of see what's going on. But the hamstring curls are one of my favorite ways to start off a leg day, just because it helps to really warm up the knees and get it going before I put any weight on it. It's not necessary, because you could use hamstring curls anytime during a workout. You could do it as a warm-up. You could do it as a finisher. You could do it in the middle as a mass builder. But we'll go over those things later. And I'm going to just start right here with the shoulder presses. Nothing too heavy or crazy. Again, probably the number two biggest problem for us men when we're starting back into our workouts is, and I say number two, and I'll explain to you what number one is after, but number two biggest problem is trying to push harder, move faster, push ourselves like we're 25 again, or even 30 or 40, but we're not. 6. I'm gonna do 20 reps to warm up. 8, good. Oh, shoulder's feeling good. 9, 10, 12. And like I've been saying since the beginning, you need to focus on mobility. 14, as well as strengthening. 15, and not about lifting super heavy weight. I think that's 20 right there. Because remember, as we get older, your muscles start to shorten, you start to stiffen up more. So it's all about creating longevity. It's all about creating flexibility in the body, and not about, okay, it's too high up, and not about getting tighter or shortening the range of motion. You got to be conscious of that. Okay, that's good. Okay. I like to get a good hold at the bottom and squeeze. And it's a great way to just wake up the legs, especially wake up the knees. If you've got crickety knees, and now that's not the scientific term, obviously, but we all know what crickety knees mean. And they're not injured knees. You haven't injured them. But, well, I guess, you know what, if you have knees that have had prior injuries, because I do this with a lot of my clients that have to rehab knees as well, too. A great way is hamstring curls. It's just don't go heavy. Go with a manageable weight to begin with and get those squeezes in. It really wakes up all the tendons and ligaments in the back of the knee, helps get the hamstrings activated. And the hamstrings, like I've mentioned before, are so poorly used in our everyday life, right? Because very rarely do we extend our legs long enough or get deep enough into the hips and open up our stride so that our hamstrings get to engage and help out. Unless you're doing like cardio, like I was showing you the other day on a high incline and opening up that stride and really pulling through the heels and activating the hamstrings and the glutes. But other than that, day to day, we're so quad and calf dominant that it's nice to get those hamstrings activated first on the leg day. Well, I like to do it that way. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Towel, coffee. There we go. Okay, so warm-up set. That was good. On top of the rehab, externally rotated shoulder pull-apart resistance bands that I was doing. Good old coffee. Okay. So we're going to go into our second set. I'm going to go up in weight. I apologize, sorry. Okay. So I'd mentioned the number 2 biggest problem for men in our 50s, trying to get back into it, pushing too hard, trying to go too quick, trying to do exercises that are too explosive, trying to do too much weight. All these things, you got to be careful. over the years, and I think we've all seen them, right? When we were younger, guys hurting themselves in the gym because they're pushing too hard. So just take it nice, and I wouldn't say easy, but I guess the term would be go from like medium. As you start to get stronger, you can increase things, but once again, never go to a point, I feel, where you're doing sets of 3 reps. I mean, true sets of 3 reps where you're pushing that hard to get a third rep out. That's just, I think it's, the risk to reward is too high at our age to injure yourself. I'd say the lowest you should go for rep range on a true set would be 5, where you're challenged to get that 5th one out. And that way you should be pushing at the most like 80% maybe on each rep of your max. Oh, shoulders are feeling much better as far as range of motion, but they're very weak compared to how they were before. And that leads to, like I just said, compared to how they were before, that leads to the number 1 danger, right, what I've mentioned before for us men in our 50s, and that is continually comparing yourself to how you were before and letting that negatively affect you to where it makes you not want to work out, where it kind of like kills your motivation. You don't want that to happen either. And if you've gotten this far and you're training with me and you're on your 2nd week, 3rd week, then you should have got past the majority of it. I'm actually starting to finally feel excited about my workout. It's still a challenge, don't get me wrong, coming in and doing it. At least now the sun's starting to come up earlier, so it's good. It's about, right now on the clock back of you, is about 6:58, so it's nice. Oh, went up a little bit in weight. We're gonna get that hold. I like that guy. He's been hitting it. That guy who ran by the window, he's been hitting it every day out there. Going from walking, now he's at like a brisk walk / jog. That's what it takes, man. Every day, doing something a little more. Oh, okay. Whew. I've been fortunate. Lately, a lot of the clients have been out training, out vacationing or traveling or doing something, filming. So it's been nice and empty later in the morning and not having to come here at 4 in the morning. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, though. I'm like really glad, because getting up at 4 to work out is a fucking pain in the ass. I don't mind getting up at 4 to train people, but actually getting up to work out and push, and I'm a morning person too, so that's hard. And I'm going to go up again. Okay. Shoulders are feeling good. Oh, that was nice. Each set I do, the shoulders feel like they're working better. Whew, good. That felt good. Oh. go up again and wait. Okay. Okay. I think that's it for that. We're gonna move on. Legs are feeling nice and warmed up. Again, if you have like crickety knees, you know, and our age, pretty much everybody does, where when you're doing squats, you have that, even body weight squats, you have that like snap, crackle, and pop Kellogg's cereal sound. I find doing the hamstring curls first kind of gets rid of that, and you don't have this like a loose feeling in the patella, the kneecap, and around that area. It starts to really get engaged, and it feels much more secure and stabilized. That's what I like about it at this age. So as I got older, I really appreciated the hamstring curls more at the beginning of my workout rather than in the middle or toward the end as a finisher. Okay, so let's get into the next exercises. Guys, I just set it up over here so that you can get a better view. I put a incline bench here, I just put up the seat, and then I'm gonna use the squat rack right over here. So it's gonna be the first time I'm gonna be doing a back squat in quite a long time. Need some coffee for this. Now, for the back squat, I'm not gonna go heavy at all. Again, like I say, don't overdo it. I'm just gonna throw 15-pound bumper weights on the sides. It's a 45-pound plate. This one's a traditional Olympic bar. So you're looking at this being 75 pounds, 15-pound plates on the side, 45-pound bar. I'm gonna be doing chest-supported Y raises right here. Again, nothing too crazy or heavy. We're working the shoulder back into ranges of motion, and this is the first actual full shoulder day I've had in, holy shit, maybe a year? God. It's amazing how fast time will fly in any part of your life, but that's why you can't stop moving. You gotta keep working out. It's, next thing you know, God, it's been forever since you worked out. Okay, again, dumbbells, so good to work with your shoulders because you can adjust the range of motion if you find that the range of motion that you're working with is not working. And a couple of reasons. You're not feeling it in the right spot, or you've got a shoulder injury and you're rehabbing it, and there's certain ranges and certain movements that are just aggravating it, and you don't want to do that. So we're gonna do a Y raise. Oh, I'm happy with that. I was just using 15 pounds or 10 pounds, 15 reps. All right. I think I mentioned before, when it comes to back squats, in our 50s, there's a lot of people in the industry that feel like men and women in their 50s shouldn't do back squats. My personal opinion is I disagree. I think back squats are amazing for the body, for your whole posterior chain, your spinal alignment all the way down through your glutes, all the way down through your legs, calves. I think that you just have to be careful. Don't go heavy. Don't go pressing obscene amount of weights when you're over 50. Even if you are on TRT and different type of PEDs. So you just got to be careful. There are different variations, obviously, of the back squat as far as where you can place the bar. I'm just going to go for a high back squat today. Nice and simple, maybe not too high. Find that where it's comfortable. There we go. Whew. 75 pounds, I've never felt so challenging. But I'm happy with it. Funny, even after the hamstring curls and my knees being warmed up, I could still feel them, not snap, crackle, pop, but I could feel and hear them like leather being pulled and then brought back. And it has like a sinewy sound. No pain, but I could feel it on my kneecap, as well as from my quads going into the knee. Whew. Being 50, man, over 50. It's adjustments. But that felt good to have that weight on the back. It felt good for the spine. A lot of men hate leg days, and it's justified because no other day makes you want to feel like you're going to throw up or anything when you really start pushing hard. But don't go that crazy in the beginning. Work incrementally. Start to build up your legs, and leg day will become your favorite day. I love leg days. It's not my favorite day, but I love leg days. And getting back into that is huge because you need your legs healthy for the rest of your life. It's what you're walking around on, right? So you got to take good care of them. There are stems. So just feeling that was great. Getting that pause at the bottom in the deep, deep stretch is awesome. Another thing to remember, a great thing about leg day, especially if you're throwing in squats of any kind of squats, or RDLs and all that, it's such a huge core day too, because your core has to work so hard to stabilize your spine and protect your organs. So it's like an extra benefit on that, and I love it. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit heavier, just a little. So in an exercise like this, the Y raises, little increments are huge. You don't have to go 5 pounds. I'm lucky because I have dumbbells here that go up by 2.5 increments and not 5 pounds. So for me, and for a lot of people, just a 2.5 pound increment change going upwards from 10 pounds to 12.5 is perfect. And it's gonna give me the challenge I need, the stimulation I need for hypertrophy, and also building and strengthening the area around my injury. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, for all of you old school lifters out there getting back into this, or here for support, I'm not just being boastful by throwing my dumbbells on the ground, because I grew up in a way you never drop your dumbbells, right, or you get slapped. But I spent a lot of money on this. We spent a lot of money on this special flooring, and the dumbbells are rubber coated, so they're not gonna make any chips, dents. The weights are fine. I'm not gonna go up in weight. This is a lot for me right now, but it's perfect, actually. And it's giving me the stimulation I need. And I'm hoping that by the third set, my knees aren't feeling or sounding like pulling leather. Okay. So the knee started feeling a little less leathery, less noisy. It's good. And it's not my legs that are tiring out, it's my core, which I'm actually kind of happy, because my legs have always been healthy and strong. I've been very fortunate. Years of Muay Thai, martial arts, boxing, getting into scraps when we were younger. Growing up in Hawaii, you get into a lot of scraps, a lot of fights. It's just how we are. We're islanders. I was very lucky I never hurt my legs, never hurt my knees. Do I get the plantar fasciitis? Sure. It's a foot issue, ankle. I got that of all things from tennis. I tried to trick my wife, Donna, because she's so good at tennis. She's amazing. I did like 3.5 months worth of private lessons, 3 times a week behind her back, because every time she'd want to go play tennis, I go, no, I'm not into it, I'm not good. I'll just do something else. So I wanted to be able to come out of the gate, play her, and kind of hold my own. Yeah, 3.5 months of tennis training with a private coach. And 3 times a week. Great coach too, by the way. And it allowed me maybe 5-10 minutes of being able to volley with her until she went, hey, you're pretty good. I didn't know you could hit back that well. And then she just crushed me like an insignificant gnat. Whew. Okay, guys, I really like how the 12.5s felt. So I'm not gonna, let's go for it. I'm gonna go 15. We're gonna try. It's either gonna do well, I'm gonna get in a few good reps, I'm gonna drop it and go back down. So never be afraid to try. As long as it's within a range you feel isn't going to hurt you. So let's try. We should call working out for men in their 50s humble pie. That should be the term of the workouts. Humble pie, big slice of it. Want to do some Y raises? How about a slice of humble pie? Want to do some squats? How about 2 slices of humble pie? 2. 3. Oh, these aren't bad. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, do I have 2 more? I think I do. 11. 12. Oh, that was good. But I'm happy how my shoulders are working. It's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. Again, I'm just going to stay here. It's not my legs that are tiring out, it's my core. My core is so out of shape. Well, as you could see, all the weight that I've gained, right, over the almost 5 years since the pandemic lockdown. Okay, so core. But the good thing is, I know my core is getting a great workout and getting that extra benefit above and beyond our 3rd day that we're doing this week with isolation, which the next time I work out in 48 hours after this strength training will be arms and abs and core. Okay. Two more. Okay, so I felt much better about that one for a couple of different reasons. One of them is because I was able to, my shoulders were opening up. I was able to get the bar a little bit higher up on my shoulders, which allowed me to then stack my ribs better rather than being at a slight angle with my butt back. Slight angle with your butt back, you know, as you come down, you have this force you're having to fight with your chest up. If you're stacking the bar higher, comfortably, not on your spine, you're able to stack your ribs and get more of a straight up and down projection, so that it was actually a little easier on my core because I'm able to stack the ribs, go up and down, better on my legs, and I got a better overall feel. But it took me to my 3rd set to finally get that and dial it in. So I'm happy with that. 75 pounds. Let's see how far I can pick that up in like another month. All right, let's do the next exercises. Okay, guys, so this is going to be the last superset, 3rd superset that I'm going to be working on. I keep saying that I want to build up to 4 supersets, and I will, but I'm just going to give it a little bit more time. I think the workouts have been really kind of precise and really good. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not waking up the next morning. I'm waking up really sore everywhere, but not to the point where I'm just crushed and I can't work all day with my clients. After I do the superset, I'm going to take you back into the lounge and show you what I'm eating for breakfast to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing that's on the go, kind of a grab. So if you don't have a lot of time to prepare food, it's my go-to way of getting in nutrients, proteins, things like that, very simply. Okay, so I'm gonna now focus on the lateral raise to the side, and this is where I can feel it, not only in my right injured side, but even on my left that has no injury. I mean, I know I had to have injured it before in the past at some point, but it was never a problem because it's also my jabbing. So my right was injured many times from hooks, things like that, overpowering, not tightening up before the movement came into me quick enough, things like that. It happens. So I'm not going to go heavy. I'm going to go more for, of course, obviously range of movement and control. If I feel the weight is too light, keep in mind, and you can always do it this way, right? Progressively overloading your muscle in a set. Remember what I've always been saying, it's not about just adding extra weight. You could always hold longer or even control the eccentric portion more, milking that stretch under load, and that's going to do it just the same too. Oh, okay. Whew, my shoulders are going to be sore, but in a good way. 11, 12, okay. This is about the time that you have to start to remind yourself, lift with your delts, lift with your shoulders, and let the arms follow. And don't lift with your arms. It's very easy to want to now focus on my forearms and my hands instead of my shoulders. You can't do that. Raise the shoulders, let the arms follow. Oh, and this is just 7.5 pounds. Humble pie. Ugh. Whew. Okay. Glute machine. Got to get that in. In fact, as the body starts to get stronger and I'm able to incorporate more exercises in the workout days or an extra day of working out, I'm definitely going to want to make sure that I'm focusing on legs, or everything rather, and glutes at least twice a week, just to make sure that I'm giving it the proper stimulation. Again, like I've mentioned before, glutes and hamstrings, they're so rarely engaged in our everyday work life in a positive way, right? Because we just sit on our ass if we're using our glutes and not really engaging them like we should, being the biggest muscles in our body. So you want to make sure that you're getting that positive stimulation into them especially with strengthening the glutes, right? Because the glutes are the foundation and the foundation for your spine, right? Your sacrum, your lumbar, all your strength around your glutes and that lower back by the QLs, the quadratus lumborum, so important for spinal health in that low area. And as I get older and I train people more, sorry, I'm talking, but 26 years training people. In between when I used to own a real estate company too, it's another story. But I started to find that there's more and more people that have some form of scoliosis. It's a lot more common than you think it is. I mean, I didn't realize I had a slight scoliosis in my lower back until like my 40s. And that would explain why, if I wasn't careful with my squats and everything, I would just exhaust that area and it would just slip and I'd be in pain for days. But as I got older, it happened less frequently. I mean, very rarely, because I just became so careful with my squats and everything, and adding in more glute work and band work to strengthen the areas there. So it's a good thing. Like right now, we're doing a giant set, and I'm talking. So along with the shoulders, I'm going to be doing this glute bridge here, hip thrust, banded. This is also the lightest band we have. We have probably 4 different levels of band intensity, maybe 5. But I can't use the heavy or the really hard one now, the strict one. So I got to start from the beginning, which is fine. That's what we're doing. To force that abduction even deeper into my glutes. Ooh. Oh God, that hurts. Oh God, that hurts. Ooh. Whew. Oh my God. So I mentioned that was part of a giant set. Giant set is 3 exercises, back to back to back, and then a rest. So the third exercise, I'm just going to be doing some banded resistance, walks back and forth, causing my abductors, my glutes to engage even deeper. 3. Ooh. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Hey, Lainey. 10. Whew. Ooh, that's a crazy giant set. So not even just my abductors, but I can feel my ITs starting to light up. All those laterally induced movement muscles all engaging. So it's a great combo right over here, giant set. Hitting the shoulders, then the hip thrust, then the banded lateral walks, oftentimes called monster walks with rehab. And it's just a great combo. Whew. For the last superset, or this giant set that we're doing today, it's a great way to finish the day. And especially since it's going to be time that a lot of the clients and trainers are going to be coming in. And then I'll take you in the back to take a look at what I'm having for my breakfast. In fact, let me squeeze out one more set. Then I'll turn off the camera, do a quick third set before clients come in, and then take it in the back and to see what I'm eating. So let me get one more. I did 7.5 on that first one. So I'm going to go up 2.5 pounds for 10. Ooh, God, that felt down. Oh, okay. Oh. 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 Sh. 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 Oh, one more. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get into one more. Hey guys, I'm gonna shut off the camera in a little bit. I'm just gonna finish this set. Hey, good morning. How's it going? I'm in pain, it's good. What do they say? Pain tells you that you're alive, right? All right. But speaking about pain, you know, we've talked about it before, that as you start to get older, 30s, you start to feel it, especially if you've had a very athletic life. 40s, you feel it way more. 50s, you start to really feel it. And what I'm referring to is there's two types of pain when you get older. There's the pain of being lethargic, unhealthy, and not moving. That's a very unique pain in your body, and you know when you're feeling that. And then there's the pain of being healthy and exercising. And it's a good kind of pain, and you can feel the difference. Your body knows the difference, your mind knows the difference. And that's a huge thing, right? You know when you start to feel that lower lumbar back pain, your knees, your neck, and all that from not working out as you get older, and just sitting at the desk all day, looking at your phone all day, pronating your shoulders heavily, those kind of things. That kind of pain sucks fucking balls, right? Big fucking balls. But when you start to work out, you get the movement in there that you need, those pains go away in time. And the pain that it's replaced with is a good pain that you wake up and you feel good about it, like you earned it. And that's what you gotta do. So again, I'm in my third week, dropping 54 pounds by my 54th birthday. Thank you for coming along. And it's starting to get a little easier for me to do this self-motivating. Oh, but everybody who's watching, or me putting the onus on myself with the camera has really helped me stay focused. I'm gonna shut up now. Okay, so the transition from there to here is a lot faster. Another thing I noticed that as I get older is that that first set of weighted hip thrusts is just so tough. Just in that movement, your body starts to, it's so tight, especially if you did squats before, because your core was engaged to keep that spinal alignment safe. That when I do the first set of hip thrusts, oh God, it just feels so excruciating. But the second and third set always feel a little looser, right? Your body's opening up to that range of movement, and it's more comfortable. I lost count. Oh, okay. Okay guys, so I'm gonna turn off the camera. I'm gonna finish one more set. The reason why is because we have clients coming in and I don't want them to have to work out without any music. I can't play music because of YouTube, obviously, licensing. But I'm gonna turn it back on. For you, it'll seem like a couple seconds. I'm gonna be in the lounge to show you my breakfast and how I'm eating to drop the weight, all right? See you in the back. Okay guys, so I finished my third set out there. Stayed the same weight on those, just kind of worked a little bit more on slowing down the eccentric portion of it, which is the lengthening and the deep stretch. So in the glute bridge hip thrust, it's going down. When you're going down and getting that deep stretch into the glute, I just slowed it down even more. Instead of adding more weight, a quick press up and then slow down, coming back down. I did the same amount of lateral resistance band walk. And then for the shoulders, again, didn't go heavier than 10. I just tried to slow it down as much as I could, that I could feel it. So promise to show you what I brought for my breakfast. This is stuff for really people on the go, like most of us guys are, if you're not working out of the home, which actually a lot of guys are working out of the home nowadays after the pandemic. You're able to cook and prepare more foods. But if you're on the go and you're always working, so here's a couple of things that I like to do. One, I really am big on the yogurts, Oikos and a couple other ones. I think it was Faji or whatever it was. They have these ones that have like a great amount of protein in them. These ones have 15. The other ones, they have other ones that have like 20 grams of protein in them, and they're actually really good. They're tasty. They're very low sugar. And they've just got a good pack of them. My wife only bought the 15-gram ones that were they're not on sale, but the only ones that they had. So I'm taking 2 of these to eat for breakfast. That's 30 grams of protein. Then I like to throw in, for the fats and the cholesterol, as well as the other form of protein, eggs. So I'm super, super lazy when it comes to boiling eggs. I also hate peeling eggs because I'm horrible at them, and I shred the hell out of eggs, and I just get frustrated. So I just buy the already made ones. Trader Joe's has a bag of these of 6 eggs, and they're actually tasty. They're not like, I don't like the ones at Ralph's, but Trader Joe's have 6 hard-boiled eggs that are tasty, and they're only like $2.75. But with the egg shortage, you got to get there early and grab some of those bags. They go quickly. I don't think they put a limit on those hard-boiled eggs. They put a limit on just the fresh eggs. But if you can't find them there, Sprouts has them too. So these are actually the Sprout ones. And Sprout doesn't seem to run out of them, but also because they're more expensive. So for 6 at Trader Joe's, it's like $2.75. For 6 at Sprouts, it's like $6. So it's like $5.75 or somewhere around there. I got to ask my wife. She picked it up. And then for the yogurt, fresh blueberries. So I went ahead and just washed them, put them in a bowl like this. So I eat this with the yogurt, get in those antioxidants, flavor, all the good things that you get from the blueberries. And then if I'm feeling, so you're looking at each egg being around maybe about, I kind of go on the low side, about maybe 5 grams of protein. So that's 3 hard-boiled eggs, that's 15 grams of protein, plus the 2 yogurts, that's 45 grams. Blueberries aren't super high in protein, but everything's got a little bit of it, right? So, maybe 1 or 2 grams in there. And then, so that's around about 48 grams of protein or so. And then I also have this. I just put in some tuna mix. I have some tuna mix with some light mayo and onions and celery and stuff like that. And I like to just bring that along too. So if I'm still feeling hungry or later on in the middle of the day, I actually will just grab that. And I usually bring like some kind of like vegetables or something with it. But then in this case, it has like a lot of celery and everything. I'll just grab a spoon and I'll just eat it as like a quick protein, snack in the middle of the day if I feel like I need it. And in between clients. So like when they're warming up, I'll just wolf this down really quick and drink some water. So this is always a great little protein burst. And this amount, it's not like a full can size, but I'd say a full can is about 35 grams of protein, if I recall. 30 grams, it's been such a while. But I'd say this is about maybe 18 to 20 grams of protein. So that's a nice little protein boost. Now for lunch, like on a busy day like this today, I'm also running around doing errands, so I'll probably just stop by at a Pollo Loco. If you've seen my earlier episodes, Pollo Loco is so easy. It's right around the corner. I just do Uber Eats. They'll bring me like a double pollo bowl, and I try to get it. There's usually the right amount of rice and beans. If I feel like it's a little bit too much, then I just won't eat as much. But I want to get in that chicken and, the veggies and everything else. And that's a great bowl that isn't going to fill me up. It'll get in my macros that I need for that meal. And then I'll usually wait until dinner time. So I'm not quite at like a 4 meal a day plan. And some people like to do, 5 or 6. I think that's really excessive especially for those of us in our 50s. That takes a lot of planning. And frankly, I just don't have the bandwidth to do that, even if I'm in a gym and that is my profession. I did that in my mid to late 20s and my early 30s when I was really into my bodybuilding and really into photo shoots for the magazines, and when I worked for a show with All of Us Men. It's really a detailed way to go, but it is so nerve-wracking. It's like a bodybuilding lifestyle. And I just don't recommend that for us men in our 50s. It takes so much planning that it literally, I did it for like 5.5 years. I got my body fat percentage down to like 5.5, 6%. And I would maintain that throughout the week. And then on the weekends, I'd go and have a cheat day party. And it was like a cheat day, like 24 hours with friends. And I literally would go from like 6% to like 8%, maybe even 9% body fat in 24 hours because your body it's just soaking up everything. At least it felt like it was. The actual machines back then in the time in the 90s weren't the most accurate things in the world. And I'd have to spend the whole rest of the week to lean out again before having to do the show, on the weekends and be in my lean, ripped shape. So it's a lot of stress. And doing that for 5.5 years, from my mid-20s to my like 30, 31, about 5.5 years, it definitely has caused an eating dysmorphia. So I don't recommend that. And you'll see a lot of bodybuilders suffer from that too. And it's a really mind fuck. And eat healthy. If 3 meals a day is easier for your mind to manage and do it, that's perfectly fine. 4 meals is what I'm going for. So it's like 3 meals and a snack. I find that that's the best way to do it. So if I do this breakfast and I eat the tuna like maybe 3 or 4 hours from now, and then I go out to lunch 2 to 3 hours after that, maybe 2 hours after that, and then I do dinner, then that's already kind of getting like 4 meals, right? So that's what I'm shooting for. I find it a lot easier. Also, I always keep on me, and I don't have them right now, so I'm going to order some, and I do a lot of ordering through Uber Eats. But I'm probably going to order like a bunch of the organic beef sticks that they have, like the chomps from the stores. Those are always great to leave around if you need a quick bite when you're rushing. Throw it in your bag if you're on the go all the time from work. But that's kind of like a food tip right now. Thanks for showing up today, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are helping to keep me accountable and motivated, and I want to help keep you accountable and motivated in your goal. So leave in the comments questions, anything that you have in regards to this, any way that I can help out. As we start to pick up more people and more subscribers, then I'm definitely going to do some Q&A days, answer some questions, and help everybody out, all of us men in our 50s, to get in shape, okay? And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in a day or two. Take care.